Hey guys, and welcome! We just got news that the May update for Battlefield 2042, which is update 4.1, will be coming tomorrow at 8 AM UTC. It's a zero downtime update again, so once downloaded you can jump right back into the game. The focus of this patch is on fixes and quality of life improvements, but there were also changes made to the All-Out War playlist and to weapons and attachments. So I will go through the most important changes in this video, but if you want to read everything, you can find a link to the full patch notes in the description below. One of the changes that most players will love to hear is that Boris' sentry turret was nerfed and is now less powerful. Its fire rate was reduced from 450 to 250 RPM and the damage was reduced from 16 to 10. Its health was also lowered from 200 to 150 and the target lock-on range was reduced from 65 to 50 meters. In addition, some more values like the reload time, projectile speed, fall of damage range and target forget time have been reduced as well. So overall a massive nerf for the sentry turret. A specialist that was also nerfed in this update is Angel. He can now no longer provide armor plates from his supply bag. There is no further info about this in the notes, but I guess what that means is that he will only be able to provide armor when reviving a teammate, but with a supply bag he can only hand out ammo and not the ammo-armor plate combination anymore. The changes to weapons and attachments mostly affect the recoil. So for all attachments with an effect on the recoil, this benefit was slightly reduced, and to compensate this, the overall weapon handling of all weapons was increased. So even without attachments, all weapons are easier to handle now and have less recoil. For the Marksman Rifles, the horizontal recoil was even more reduced, and what was also changed is that the time it takes to switch between primary weapon and sidearm was reduced, so it's faster now. The single fire mode of the AK-24 was completely removed and instead the fire rate of the burst fire mode increased. The NTW-50 is now more effective against vehicles and even has an additional multiplier against tank tracks. The PKP has more vertical recoil now, but the SVK on the other hand has less recoil to make it easier to hit follow-up shots. To the vehicles, there were no changes made so far except for the one that was actually promised with the last update. So the M5 Cibolte is now part of the armored vehicles category, while the MAV was added to the transport vehicles category. More important changes were made to the All-Out War playlist cause the 128-player version of Breakthrough was completely removed from All-Out War, so it is only available as 64-player version now. According to the devs, they felt like the mode was too chaotic and that the 64-player version represents a more tactical experience where squads can work together and players can fulfill their individual roles. But I think that the low player count is a reason as well, so players won't get split up between two different versions of one mode. The map size, however, will differ. Discarded, Manifest, Orbital and Kaleidoscope will still be played on the large maps, but with less players. While Hourglass, Breakaway and Renewal will be played on the smaller version with the player count they were intended for. Conquest, on the other hand, will still be available as a 128-player and 64-player mode, since the devs feel like the 128-player version fits this mode very well and provides enough space for a large sandbox experience. Some smaller changes and fixes that have been made are the aim assist for controller and console players that was improved while aiming at moving targets. Then there was a bug fixed where you will always get the "you have been promoted" screen at the end of the round. New sound effects for the announcer in all Battlefield 1942 and Battlefield 3 maps were added. A bug in Portal was fixed where the specialists didn't have animations or voice lines at the end of a round, but to be honest I wish they would have kept that, cause it was so much better than the horrible quips at the end of a match. The animations for deployable gadgets were improved, so they are easier to deploy and won't have any delay now, and the size of the insertion beacon has been increased so it's easier to see. We also got some small news to Season 1 in the patch notes where it says that this is up next in the schedule and that its release is planned to be in early June. Closer to this date we will get a full overview of what content we can expect and what fixes will be made with the next update. And that's it for today. Sounds pretty good so far and it seems like the devs are still on the right track for the game. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.